We are now going on the historical St. Thomas site of 1865 to 1938. The loop trail is 2.5 miles. Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Travel at your own risk. This trail is not maintained. And we are at the historical St. Thomas, which when the lake was made, it covered up this town, and so there was nobody here after the 30s. Just lately, because of drought and stuff like that. Tinkerbell, will you come on? She's just being a monster. Because of the drought and everything, the lake has dried up so bad that now most of the town site, the foundations of the buildings are all visible. So that's where we're heading down this trail. And Tinkerbell, come on. And Tinkerbell is just being a little poop head, and I'm about ready to go put her back in the RV and do this alone. But I thought she'd like to come out here, but I don't want to spend, and we're doing our little walk down the trail. I can't see if I'm getting me, but I'm hoping I am. We're it's a 2.5 mile hike in St. Thomas, and that was Albert Ferner and Levi Cephas used Ferner's threshing machine. Native Americans grew corn, beans, squash, and cotton along the river as early as 900 AD, which supplemented a diet of wild plants and animals. By the late 1800s, settlers were planting a variety of grains, melons, fruit trees, which flourished after the irrigation system was completed. Vegetable gardens provided much needed food for the hardworking families in the valley. Wow. Oh yeah, here we go. Initially, the settlers of St. Thomas thought they were in Utah or Arizona territories, as the boundary lines were not well defined. December of 1870, a boundary survey determined that St. Thomas was actually in Nevada. County tax collectors demanded settlers pay several years of back taxes in gold or silver coin immediately. The settlers had little faith that the tax payments made to Nevada would be used responsibly, and they did not possess the required currency to pay. The Utah and Arizona were made by an informal bartering system. The townspeople turned to Brigham Young for advice. He allowed them to take a vote to stay or go. The next day, December 20th, 1870, the majority voted 63-2 to abandon St. Thomas. The original settlers departed, but because of the attractiveness of the area, St. Thomas was gradually repopulated over the next decade. And there's Brigham Young. That's what I just read. And then this picture of this guy. I'll not let you get wrapped up again. Okay. If I can get this. Daniel Bonelli and his family remained in the area to operate the Bonelli Ferry along the Colorado River. He also operated a salt mine and was a successful rancher. Bonelli invested in the irrigation systems that were already in place, so as people moved back to St. Thomas, he benefited monetarily. And that was this gentleman right here. And here is a picture of the boundaries and the years those boundaries were in effect. The state of Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. Okay, so let's continue down. I don't know what it was, but we won't be walking on it if I ask you not to. So I keep the dog back. And just do a nice sweep of the old foundation. Look at how that's made with the concrete with the big rocks and stuff in it. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? This is part of St. Thomas. Now I don't know what the structure was. Doesn't have anything here to tell me. This was all underwater at one time. And the water has torn it up. Look at the old, like, it must have been bigger. This slab over here, I wonder if this was a house. Anyway, wow. To think that cement lasted all that time underwater. Okay, let's continue down the trail. It says residents began dismantling their homes and moving to nearby towns. By 1932, St. Thomas was becoming a ghost town. Only a few hardy individuals remained. And in June of 1938, Hugh Lord lit his house on fire and left by boat as the water was lapping at his door. Wow. Hoover Dam in 1934. The Boulder Dam Act of 1928, signed into law by President Calvin Coolidge, authorized the construction of Boulder Dam. This meant the end for St. Thomas, as the rising water of Lake Mead would eventually inundate the town. The government assembled a three-man committee consisting of a local resident, Levi Cyphus, and Washington, D.C. appraisers Harry Crane and Cecil Creel to determine the value of these lands. Levi Cyphus determined the overall land value at $961,158.75. Despite considerable disagreement from the townspeople regarding their individual land values, Crane and Creed valued the land at $833,028.40. The Crane and Creel calculations were approved in 1931. What might the value of St. Thomas land be today? Who do you think should determine the value of land and homes in the United States? Please leave a comment in the comments below. Okay, I'm going to shut you off until we come to the next artifact so that you don't have to just keep walking down the same trail with me, and that we don't run out of time, because we've only got 60 minutes left, and it is a long hike. So I'm going to pause this